Paul, why do you think people have such a hard time trusting the flow of life?
People love being comfortable. They like the known. And when life throws them a curveball, and it's not in the vision of what they thought their life was going to be or what was down that road, they have a hard time with it.
You know, I think part of the challenge of trusting the flow is you have this uncertainty and you have a certain way of doing things that you've always grown to see as the way, and change is hard and people don't always accept it. And there's a great story, the Golden State Warriors, that kind of illustrates that. Steve Kerr was a rookie coach, now one of the great coaches of the NBA, but at the time a rookie coach, and you know, we didn't know if this guy was going to be any good or not.
He was in the broadcast booth.
Yeah, he was in the broadcast booth, right? So all of a sudden a broadcaster is coaching a team who had gotten into some playoff games and were doing pretty good, but never got over the hump, and they never made it to the NBA Finals. So they were sort of being seen as a team that was maybe on the next level of being an NBA championship team, but maybe not too. And now you got a rookie coach. And one of the first things that Kerr does when he comes in is he sort of figures out that Andre Iguodala would maybe be better served playing with the second unit and being the sixth man rather than a starter. And so he approaches Iguodala with this idea. And you gotta take it from Iguodala's perspective. He had, I think, played in like 806 games straight as a starter. He was an all-star, all-defensive player. And coaches come in and tell him, hey, I'd like you to start the game on the bench, which totally seems like a demotion, right? And Iguodala, I don't think he just said, okay, great, coach. You know, hey, rookie coach, let's
think about it.
Yeah, he kind of molded over and he accepted the fact that Kerr had thought this through, and he agreed to it. Well, what happens that year? He wins the Sixth Man of the Year award. The Warriors go to the NBA Finals. They win the championship. And who is the NBA Finals MVP? Andre Iguodala. So it's one of those things where if you go, yeah, I don't want to change, I'm a starter, and not trust the flow, you prevent all those great things that could have maybe happened in your life. So, you know, Paul, talk about that. You know about this. I mean, you've taught me this quite a bit of acceptance and how the opposite of trusting the flow is not being able to accept those curveballs that life throws you.
This is attachment to an outcome, attachment to what you want to happen, what you visualize to happen. And if you stay attached, it's a very spiritual term, by the way, but if you stay attached to that and it doesn't work out that way, that's still in your mind. It's self-talk. You're telling yourself again and again and again, why hasn't it worked out this way? What's gone wrong? Why? Right. Which creates stress.
Right.
Okay? So if you have a glass of water and you keep pouring water into it, you keep pouring the hurts of the past, you keep pouring the harms against you into that water, it spills over into all aspects of your life.
Right.
But if you let go of it,
right,
let go of that attachment to being the starter, the starting five,
right,
and walking on that floor to start the game.
Or let go of the failures that you've had.
Or let go
in
of
the
the
past.
failures, or anything
Shed that baggage.
Anything you're holding on to, right?
Right.
Letting it go.
Right.
Then you have a half a glass of water that you can pour fresh water into.
Right.
New opportunities can come your
Right.
way. Maybe better,
Right.
like in Iguodala's case, right? He got the MVP. He never made it to the championship game.
Yeah, and now he's the MVP.
Now he's the MVP.
And the winner.
And he got a ring.
He got a ring and a nice MVP trophy. And I love your analogy about the glass of water, because let's hypothetically say that you've got a pretty good life, nothing really wrong, and you just kind of cruising, everything's good, not great, but okay. And that glass is full with not great, but okay. And you don't leave any room for anything new. You don't trust that there's another opportunity out there, and you just sort of cruise. You take away these great opportunities that might come your way because you're like, I'm good, glass is full. Instead of opening yourself up to new opportunities in life and just trusting that there might be something better around the corner if you just go look.
You got to believe
Right.
that there's something better around the corner for you. You probably have this fear that if you move out of that space, then it's going to be worse, because look what I've got here. It's okay. It's not that great. I'm surviving. I'm not thriving.
Right. I'm living on autopilot, but at least I'm going forward on my little
At least I know what I got.
life. Right.
At least I know what I got. We're not here to be ordinary. We're here to be extraordinary within who we are as a human being in all phases of life. And so there's always something better around the corner. That's how I believe. I believe that for me. Not, hey, have I had my challenges? Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, but if you don't have that belief, then you're not going to step out of your zone, your comfort zone, into something new. And it's in the new that you have opportunities to grow and become a better person. So in all these things relative to the flow of life, someone throwing us a curveball, I think we get caught up into that's a bad thing. Yeah. When in reality, it could be the very best thing that happened to us. Right. Because by shifting to another area, that could be the path that we were truly destined to be on. Yeah. Our entire life. But we had to have this perceived negative thing happen to us to smack us in the face enough to move off of it into something else. Now, Ugadala did a great job, because it's all about our reaction. You know, it's not about the situation. So the situation was the situation. You got the new head coach. He says, this is what it is. Right. So what are you going to do? You're going to accept it, or are you going to stay attached to what you had before and not accept it?
You kind of had, in a different way, an experience where you were in the sales career and you had to let go of your attachment to the numbers, right? Attachment to that part of the business because you weren't happy. Talk about that. Talk about how letting go of that attachment really changed your life.
Yeah, I've been in sales after football my entire life, and you know, I had a family to feed. Right. So the tendency is, and just like everybody in the world, you know, you got to focus on, you got to have enough money to be able to take care of your family and yourself and everything. Right. So that was the focal point. And sales is always measured. It's always numbers. It's always quotas. It's this and that. It's where are you stacking? You know, we got 20 salespeople. Where are you? You number 20? You 1? You 10? Where are you? Right. Always trying to be 1. And if you're 1, never good enough. You got to stay there next year. You got to do more next year. Right. It's always a never-ending thing. Yeah. So I got caught up in that whole thing in business, and I wasn't happy until I shifted. You know, when I went to the desert to find Paul and really do a lot of diving inward to discover many things about me that were there, but I never really consciously knew. So I brought it to a conscious level. I realized that relationships were what was really important to me. You know, relationships. And so I set out in my sales career to focus on building relationships, helping others, serving others, doing what I can, with the thought being, hey, this could, you know, I'm going to go in this meeting. Maybe this man or woman I meet, they could be one of my best friends the rest of my life. Right. You know, who knows where that could go, that relationship.
Right. Yeah, and it's interesting because if you are in sales, you are attached to those numbers. And it's interesting from your perspective, and I don't know if your bosses will know this about you, but they're about to find out. You don't even look at your numbers.
I don't. I look. I know the bigger deals that close, but I don't scour the numbers to see where we're at.
And I'm sure there's other people who look at them every day.
Every day. Yeah. Every day. And there are people that look at them because they believe that maybe they're not getting credit on a deal that should be getting credit for. Right. And they want it. That's coming from a spot of scarcity and not abundance. And so I'm coming at it from an abundant perspective. But I think the big thing is I stopped attempting to force things to happen, to will things to happen. And
that's a great, I don't mean to interrupt you. That's a great way to look at it.
I let life move through me. So I had this belief about everything's going to be great. I'm building these relationships and who knows where that's going to go. But I let the flow of life move through me, and I went with the flow of life in every way. So after a meeting, if we didn't get a deal, I wasn't like, God, why didn't we get that deal? I'm bummed out. And how come? What's going on? Did I say something wrong? No. It was
and it's interesting because it's very transparent when you're in a meeting and you just want something from somebody. right? I've been in meetings with you with people who are very, very successful, and they have so much respect for you because they know that you're first and foremost their friend, a person who's formed a relationship with them, and they can talk to you in a real way. Oh, and then you get to the business part of it. And if they felt like you were only in their office to take money out of their pocket and put it in your pocket, you wouldn't have those relationships. Maybe you'd have a little bit of a business relationship. Maybe you'd still be their rep or whatever, but in reality, probably not, because nobody wants to have that kind of relationship with somebody else. They want to have an authentic, real relationship. And you really do walk the walk on that, because I've seen it. I've seen how people respect you because they know that you're genuine with them and it's not about like what you can get from them.
We come at it from a different perspective, Jack, when it's not just what's in it for me, what can I get out of this? It's what's in it for all of us. How can we help each other? There's universal forces at play. Right. Universal forces at play, AKA the flow of life, and that will bring about and conspire with you to do great things.
Yeah. I have a hard time explaining this to people, but I'll often say, hey, if you're kind of stuck, go find an organization and volunteer for them. Get on their board of directors if you're able to, or do something that will give back. And you will always find out you got more from it than you put into it. Don't know how, don't know when, don't know where, but something ends up coming from that experience that's far better and far more powerful than what you put into it. And you never would have, and you never imagined that. I got started in my film career because I was on the board of directors of the San Pedro Chamber of Commerce, furthest place from Hollywood, right? But just turns out there was a guy on the board who kind of wanted to make movies, and he put some money into a company we started. And I didn't join that board to become, because I was going to get movie opportunities. Nope, that would have been a crazy way to look at it. But it's what happened, because I just was there because I wanted to help my community. So those are the things that I think we need to also remember as we're trusting the flow of life, is put positive things into the flow of life, and positive things will flow back to us.
And that's all coming from an empowered state when we look at life like that, a proactive way to be. Okay, so how we think about things, what we do in life, what's our attitude about life, what's our belief system about life. And, if your belief system is like life is good, I'm giving to life, it's, and everything around the corner is going to be even better than what I have today. If you come at it that way, that's the flow you're going to be in. Right. That's the current you're going to be in of life. And good things are going to come your way. And you're going to notice all the good things that happen to you, not the negative things. If your flip side of that coin is the whole attachment space, that is also a current in life. Right. And if you're in that current of life, where life's not very good now, that's probably not going to be good for me. Around the next corner, God, I hope it's not as worse than what it is now. If you're in that current of life, you're going to get the same kind of thing. Yeah. So why not be in, I believe that, whether you're religious or not religious, if you're a physicist or not a physicist, but there is a flow in life. And that flow is meant for all of us to lead our best lives. Right. It's all in there. It's all out there. It's up to us to get into that current and allow that current to move through us. And when it does, fantastic things happen.
Hey, Paul.
Yeah.
This is the part where we're supposed to tell people to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Okay, will you please do that then? I mean, if you enjoy it, please do.
And if you don't, do it anyways, because we need your help.
Yeah, we do.
Also, we have a website called GameChangeNation.com. Just go there and subscribe and you'll get tons of free content.
And what we're really trying to do is create a community of people that love sports.
Yep.
And the great lessons that we learn from sports, but we want to hear from you.
We do. So we're going to have a bunch of social media pages, from TikTok to Instagram to Twitter to Facebook. Instagram, I probably already said all of them. Please join them and tell us your stories. We'd love to hear from you. Oh, and we wrote a book.
Oh,
forgot about that.
Forgot that.
The book is called Through the Tunnel. It's available on Amazon now. If you go straight down here to this link that you can see below us, you will be able to purchase it. We'd love it if you could do it.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.